What's up, Hockey Think Tankers? Welcome to another Wednesday Short Shifts episode sponsored by Skate Tech. Skate Tech skate sharpening and equipment repair brings you NHL quality service at an affordable retail price. With over 24 years, it's been a year later, of sharpening equipment customizing experience, Skate Tech serves as your personal equipment manager, providing the highest quality skate sharpening, blade profiling, team uniforms, and equipment alterations available on the market today. Let Skate Tech help you take your on-ice performance to the next level with the edge pros trust. Check them out at skatetechsharpening.com.
Wow, one take Tony right there. One take Tony, not so much on that one.
I saw you laughing out of the corner of my eye. Sorry, Chad.
I absolutely love it. Oh, guys, today's short shifts. I have been waiting to do this one for a long time. Well, not a long time, for just a couple days, because but I can't wait to do this because somebody that I know, a guy named John Schumann up in Lakeville, Minnesota, he sent me this, and it's actually a little bit of an excerpt from the website of a guy that we've had on the podcast not too long ago, Matt Ford. So Matt Ford's hockey journey, incredible. Like, was the captain of an AHL winning team, played at the University of Wisconsin as a kid who got cut, when he was younger, like just incredible. And Matt played his hockey at Shattuck before going to the USHL and going to the University of Wisconsin. And Shattuck, obviously, if for anybody that's in the hockey world knows, the top of the top of the top when it comes to youth hockeys and academies, prep schools type stuff. And they've been doing it forever. If you don't know, they've had like their alumni roster, like Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, Jonathan Taves, Zach Parisi, like just the best of the best, like pretty good. And so Matt wrote a little thing on his website that talks about Shattuck. And if you want to read it, just go to fordhockeyschool.com/hockey-IQ-hub. And that's where you can find it. But it's called The Standard. And I want to read this to you, Vex, and then we can talk a little bit about it. But this is like so good. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So thanks, John, for sending this over to me. And Matt, if you haven't listened to our podcast with Matt, like it was a really, really good one. So here we go. Yeah. It's called The Standard. The Standard. I had the best coach. His name was Tom Ward. Not because of trophies, not because of rankings, not because of where his players ended up. I had the best coach because he set a standard and never once lowered it. And I know not everyone gets that. Most people say they want that standard until it applies to their kid. Most people define a great youth coach by outcomes, what team their kid made, where they're ranked, how many games they win. That's the dream everyone talks about, but that's not where real development happens. Tom Ward didn't build players by chasing outcomes. He built them by ignoring them. And for those who don't know Tom Ward, he's the head coach of their prep team, their top team. When people think about Shattuck St. Mary's, they think about the names, the NHL players, the pipeline. What gets missed is what actually creates all of that. It's not exposure. It's not hype. It's not being labeled elite at 12 years old. It's a standard, a quiet, daily, unglamorous standard. It doesn't change based on who you are. You either meet it or you don't make the team. And that standard has a way of humbling you long before it builds you. I got cut twice from making his team. And looking back, that mattered more than anything that would have come easy, because everything today pushes kids in the opposite direction. Early labels, stacked teams, constant reassurance that they're already where they need to be. Everyone's chasing the end result. Very few are willing to go through the part that actually creates it. Most people don't avoid that part because they can't do it. They avoid it because there's no recognition in it. That's what was different here. When you walked into that locker room, nothing about you mattered outside of how you showed up that day. No names on the jerseys, no captain, no one treated differently. It stripped everything down. You weren't playing for attention. You weren't playing for status. You were just trying to meet the standard. And you saw it immediately in practice. First day back after a weekend, it didn't matter what just happened. You grabbed a partner and battled for one puck. After 30 seconds, if you didn't come out with it, you were doing push-ups, and then you went again. No speech, no explanation. That was just the standard. Nothing about it looked special, and that was the point. And here's the part people miss. It didn't feel like punishment. It felt like clarity. There was no confusion about what was required. No shortcuts, no exceptions, just the work, day after day. That's how that team was built. Not through hype, not through who was supposed to be the best, through repetition, through accountability, through doing the same simple things at a high level long after they stop being exciting. We won a national championship in 2003. People will assume it was because the team was loaded, but that's not why. It was a byproduct. The real work happened long before anyone was watching. And you could see it in the players who came through there, like Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, and Jonathan Taves. Yes, they're talented, but what stands out more is how steady they are, how they handle big moments. That doesn't come from chasing the spotlight. It comes from spending years in environments where nothing about the spotlight matters. That's what's getting lost right now. Too many people are chasing the visible part of the success, the teams, the rankings, the recognition. Not enough are willing to live in the invisible part, the repetition, the discomfort, the lack of attention, the part that actually builds you. The best coach doesn't sell the dream. He builds the habits that make the dream irrelevant. If you want to know if your kid has a great coach, don't look at the standings. Look at what gets repeated every day. Look at what's expected when no one's watching. Look at whether your kid is being pushed or protected, because the truth is most environments aren't designed to develop players. They're designed to signal success. The best coach doesn't do that. He builds players in a way that doesn't look impressive early. And that's exactly why it works. Matthew. Dude.
Oh,
dude.
Oh, oh God, I want to go back and play for Shattuck St. Mary's.
Wasn't that incredible?
Wow. Electric. Absolutely. Did he say the dream is irrelevant, the habits, something like that? It was towards the
something
end.
Like that. Yeah.
Oh my God, man. I mean, guys, moms, dads, coaches, young players listening, everything that was just said is 100% unbelievably true. Like, wow. Chills, man.
So here's
I'm making all my guys read this. Where did you get this from?
So here's what I'll do. I will make sure that we post the link to that in the show notes. So anybody who's listening to this right now, you can either go back and listen to that again, because you're kind of probably going to be like, oh, there's a lot in there that I want to remember, or we'll put the link in the show notes at the bottom and you can just go and read it. And so like the whole thing, man, it just epitomizes what is right about the game, right? It epitomizes what is right about the game. And so much of quote unquote making it is not in the limelight, which is kind of how it gets sold. And I think that's a big theme of what Fordo was talking about here, is that success doesn't happen in the limelight. Success happens in the shadows. Success happens when nobody's watching. It's the work you put in. And if you have a coach, like he said at the very beginning of this, or a leader that sets the standard really, really high and does not waver in holding you accountable to that standard, that's where true success comes from. And it's funny, right? Because you think about all the superstars in the league, and there's a lot of them, but you look at like the guys that came through Shattuck, they all have this like humility to them. And that's learned in Faribault, Minnesota, under Tom Ward and all the coaches that are there, and just what they've built. And I know those guys well. Like, it's about character for them. Like, it's not just about building the next great hockey player. It's about building great people, and they put their money where their mouth is. Like, they don't just, like a lot of people I feel like say that, and then it's like the follow through isn't great. Not at Shattuck. Like it really truly is. That's why it's such a special place, is because of what Matt just wrote right there. And so I think about this too from a coaching standpoint. If I ever had a player that wrote something like this about me, dude, I would like that. I would, anything that I did in this hockey world would be validated because of something written like this. And Tom Ward, if you know him, like, he's one of the best in the business. It's not even close. Clearly. And he clearly, right. Clearly. And he's coached in the NHL and he's done a lot of great things, but like the Shattuck program, like, and it's not just Tom, it's the other people that are there too. And their women's program is amazing too. You look at the Olympians that have come through there. It's a special place. And what Fordo just wrote shows why it is a special place.
It's unbelievable, man. That's like
if you're a parent after reading that, You know, and for the parents,
for that guy.
Like, especially at this time of year, again, this is mating season. This is silly season, whatever you want to call it. There's tryouts, there's recruiting. This is just the worst time of year for all of that stuff. And I want you to think about, if you're a player listening to this, or I want you to think about if you're a parent listening to this, and think about the quote unquote recruiting pitches that you're getting from anybody and everybody out there in the hockey world about what they can do for you or what they can do for your kid. Like this, like I would want my kid to go to a place that is not sexy. Like I want my kid to go to a place where I'm not being promised the world. I'm not being promised that this is like the greatest thing ever, blah, 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 blah. Like, no, I want to go to a place where there's a standard. There's an accountability to that standard. My kid is going to hear the truth for the good, the bad, and the ugly. And where like it truly, like the success is earned in the shadows when the lights are off, you know? And I just, man, I just loved that so much. And I reached out to Fordo to make sure it was okay that I talked about it on the podcast here. And he said, yeah, absolutely. No problem. And I just think, man, that right there is what hockey is all about. Right.
And no matter how far any player goes who plays for a coach like that, he will have a positive effect on the rest of players' lives.
Yeah.
Whether you're done after that year or college or juniors or pro or whatever, it doesn't matter. If your child plays for somebody like that, a mentor like that, a coach like that, and listens and learns and buys in, the rest of their life will be positively affected. Like, not a doubt in my mind, not a doubt in my mind. The rest of their life, they will have a leg up on finding success versus people who've never been in this type of environment or atmosphere, which is why Toph and I do this podcast. And we love the game of hockey so much because we learned lessons like that through our coaches and our mentors and being around great people. And it's the whole reason that we do this thing, is to keep this thing going. And, you know, like with my gyms too, it's the same thing, man. Try and help as many people as I can so that life after, go as far as I can hockey, but life after hockey also is like a big thing we as coaches need to always have on our minds.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to just repeat one thing. I love what you just said there. And I want to repeat one thing before we end this here. It's just kind of towards the end where he's talking about like Taves and McKinnon and Crosby and things like that. And he talks about the real work happened long before anyone was watching. And then he talks about McKinnon and Crosby. And then he goes, but what stands out more is how steady they are, how they handle big moments. That doesn't come from chasing the spotlight. It comes from spending years in environments where nothing about the spotlight matters. That's what's getting lost right now. Too many people are chasing this is what I love. Too many people are chasing the visible part of success, the teams, the rankings, the recognition. Not enough are willing to live in the invisible part, the repetition, the discomfort, the lack of attention. That part actually builds you. Like, right? Like it's again, I have a poem on my desk and it's called It's What You Do When Nobody's Looking. It's what you do when nobody's looking. And I just, man, this was so good, Fordo. Great stuff, man. Like, I'm sure he's going to I'll send this to him, but like, I think go back, re-listen, go to the website and check it out, fordhockeyschool.com. And this is just amazing. So hope you guys can take some of that and run with it for everybody. Like, if you're a coach, this is it, man.
This is the standard.
If you're a parent or if you're a player, like this is some amazing stuff too. So thank you, Matt Ford, and have a great week, everybody.